Okay.
I'm seeing a giant symbol.
Oh, that's because someone is not muted. It's on their phone.
I love your bandana.
Thank you. Knuckles and Knots has the best stuff. Best stuff.
Cute.
Okay. There we go. Okay, can you guys see me when I'm talking right now? Am I showing up as the large one?
The large one.
Is that working?
Oh, yeah, you are. Okay. For me.
Okay, because I have it on active speaker, so I just want to make sure. So, guys, welcome to this week's training call. Da, 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 da.
Is that your theme song?
No. Oh. Sometimes I serenade them, but not all the time. Anyway, so you guys, welcome. I feel like I have tapped out as much knowledge as I can give you guys. So I am spotlighting more of our upline to get in and train because I don't know if I could say anything more than I talk for so long on these things, and you guys know. So I was like, okay, Alex said, does your team need anything? And I was like, you know what? I think it would be nice for us to have a reminder of, you know, our humble beginnings and how we all started out and how it's progressed or hasn't, something.
Go get a diaper.
On chats are just not necessary. You don't have to be doing. And so I don't want, especially for the Q clubbers, it can get overwhelming because you see a bunch of different stuff and it can get really stressful. So I invited Alex to just come talk to us about her beginning and tell us a story and give us some insight on really getting back to simplicity and not overwhelming ourselves and not overextending more than we can. Not running faster than we can run and not overextending ourselves. And so I met Alex. She threw a party. She was the host. No, she was the consultant for Ronnie's party. The host is my sponsor. Okay. And I actually asked Alex a bunch of questions about the company. And I was like, even though I knew the company, I was just like, okay, you tell me from like a person non-related, what the company's been like for you. And she gave me a bunch. I think you were the first one that gave me all the documents.
No, I don't think so. I don't even remember talking to you about it.
Go back. I remember you sent.
Did we talk about it?
We just you said, oh my gosh, you'd be an awesome consultant. You should think about.
Oh yeah.
And I was like,
I remember everything you bought that day. By the way,
I bought my Lola. I remember that.
And that Julia, that blue and yellowish.
Oh yeah, the one I took with my family pictures. That's my favorite one. So I'm using you guys as my mirror. Anyway, and that was like back in maybe March last year. Maybe February. I don't remember. It was a while ago, and I was like, no, I'm in a new town. There's no way I can do that. Also, I'm an esthetician. I don't want to do that. But cool, maybe I'll keep thinking about it, blah, blah, blah. And then you guys know my story. Then I saw Ronnie, like, sign up and get huge success quickly online, and I was like, wow, I didn't know you could sell. I knew you could sell online, but I didn't know you could be this successful so quickly. And again, I talked about it on the Can group thing. Success to me was making an extra $20 a week. I mean, it was getting out of the house. It was doing something to help take stress off my husband. And so when I say, like, I saw Ronnie's success, when I saw 2 items sell for her, I was like, what? People actually, like, your family and friends, like, I watched her from the beginning start. And so that was really fun. I kind of look like a baby with this thing. I need to fix it. Anyway, that's when I started asking Ronnie, and then I got involved. So that's how I met Alex. I actually met her just online, and then I actually met you in person. What is that face that you're making right now?
Who, me?
Yeah, you were like.
Because I was afraid you were going to say you were scared of me.
Oh, I was going to say that. I wasn't, but, I'll bring that up.
You were scared of me.
I was scared of Alex because I'd ask her, like, questions, and she'd give me, like, one-word answers, and I'd be like, well, geez. But it was a one-word answer. I didn't need a longer answer. So it was like, but then I met her in person, and I was like, oh, my gosh, you're the nicest person. It was just at leadership, and she was so embarrassed.
Yeah. I was like, oh, no, I feel terrible about that.
No, she is. And then I realized I do the exact same thing right now. Like, I am.
Well, you're so swamped. It's like you're dealing with a crying baby. You're like, quick answer, yes, no, maybe, sorry, can't help you. It's like.
Yeah. And honestly, that's probably why I post really ridiculous videos on our team page, because I want you guys to see that I'm not mean. Because I do the same thing. I'm like, people probably think I'm like, I ain't got time for you, so I'm just gonna write yes or good or yes, that's all you need, or whatever. Anyway, Alex is the most down to earth and works super hard and is so, you guys, all the coaches I've ever met, when they hear it, Alex is our coach, they're like, oh my gosh, she is so nice. I'm like,
Oh.
she is. I don't think I've told you that, but Lindsay Wheeler and them, they love you. So you guys, so listen to her. She's got tons of experience, and really your anniversary was just like 4 months ago.
Yeah, December.
Yeah. So, and she's a coach. She's our coach. So listen to what she has to say and take some notes. And Mike's over to you, friend. I'm going to mute myself. And then we're going to open it up to questions.
Before you mute, how many on here? I mean, I know Bethany. She's the only one I can see.
Okay, we have Bethany. How many?
How many are active versus in the queue?
We have, I don't know who's on phones.
I saw Rebecca. Is that Rebecca Henderson or is it a different Rebecca?
That's Rebecca Henderson. So Bethany, Rebecca, Cassie,
Cassie.
who I don't.
It doesn't really matter. I'm just curious for my own.
A bunch of other people are on phones. So if I didn't get your name and you're on a phone, unmute yourself or type in the chat. Right now, it looks like there's about 4 or 5 that are active. Our team has got so many people in queue. So
yeah.
Yeah. So if I'm wrong, if one of you guys is not, and I'm not seeing your number correctly, just type in the chat, and so Alex can see it. So.
Oh yeah, where's the chat? Chat. Okay.
Yeah, so if you guys have questions. Oh, Holly's on her phone. Okay, so we have about 5 or 6 then. If you guys have questions, you can type them along the way in the chat, and we'll get to them at the end, or just wait till the end and we'll open it up. Okay.
Ready, Freddie?
Yeah.
All right.
Ready. I'm gonna mute myself.
Hopefully my dogs don't bark. That's like my only fear right now. My kid's in bed, but hopefully my dogs don't bark. So I'm looking at my phone because I have notes because I'm terrible at just speaking randomly. So I'm Alexandra. You're still huge for me. I mean, it doesn't matter, but, okay, I'm Alexandra. Now I'm huge. I can't look at that. Okay. I am technically, I guess for simplicity's sake, Robin's grandma. I always put this in grandma, great-grandma, great-great-grandma terminology because I feel like that's the easiest way to describe it. So her sponsor is my direct downline. I started, as mentioned, back in December of 2014, which is crazy. It's been over a year. I'm going to take you back, though, to 2012 because I want to kind of give you my backstory and help you, see how I got here and how my life has progressed. 2012, I was graduating college, nursing school. I got married to the man of my dreams. A month, I was in like my last 2 weeks of college. It was crazy. We got married. I ended up getting my dream job on an OB floor before I graduated. So life was perfection. And then that July, 3 months later, my husband was killed in Afghanistan, and my life just went like 22 years old, and I really felt like I had no reason to live anymore. But I did. I woke up every morning and I continued through my life and kept working at my job, and I loved my job. And about 15 months after he was killed, my current husband, who was my late husband's battle buddy, which, as you can imagine, was a terrible scandal, but everything's fine now. We found out we were going to have a baby. So we got married, and here we are 2 years later, happily married with one daughter who's almost 2, and another little one on the way. But I ended up, we got married 2 years ago, May. Okay, so I had my daughter in July. So when she was 7 weeks old, I packed up and moved away from everything I knew in New York and came here to live in Indiana because that's where he was going to be stationed. She was 7 weeks old. And I was like, oh my gosh, I can't imagine having to find a new job. Like I couldn't grasp like having to go back to work and leave my sweet little baby at home anyway, but having to find a job on top of it. I had really bad anxiety, which has improved drastically, but I had really bad anxiety in general. And I was like, I can't even imagine how I'm going to do that. So I started looking into direct sales options. And I looked at all the mainstream ones that, of course, everybody knows about, like Scentsy and 31 and Mary Kay. And I was like, I'm not going to make, I mean, I don't need to bring in a ton of money. You know, I didn't even think about replacing my nursing salary. That wasn't even like on my radar. But we had talked and we figured, you know, we could live comfortably on his income, but we really wanted just a little bit extra for that little extra cushion for family outings, you know, going out to dinner, you know, maybe a little vacation here and there. So my good friend Amy Lee, that November or October, like a month after we got here, yeah, Charlotte was little. She was like 3 months old. I started seeing her post about this thing called LuLaRoe on Facebook. And I'm like, what is she talking about? Like, I've never heard of that. What is that? So she added me to her online group. And I was like, what is this? Like clothes? Clothes? I didn't even know that was a thing that you could sell. So I talked to her briefly, not really interested in joining or anything, just trying to see what it was all about. So I purchased a Julia, which is actually this Julia. I realized that as I was thinking this in my head, I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm actually wearing the first item I bought, kind of as a sympathy buy. So I'm like, I feel like I should buy something. You know, she's one of my best friends. I think I should buy something. So I did. And while I was waiting for it to come, she was like, you really should join. Like, you're thinking about doing direct sales anyway. You should really join. And she listed off all the reasons that I should do this. I'm like, stress. So I got it and I was like, oh yeah, this is really soft. I really like it. It's flattering, but I wasn't totally like hooked or amazed or anything yet. So bottom line, I finally decided to just take the leap. I wasn't super, you know, fascinated about the clothes. Honestly, like I said, I only had one thing and that wasn't what wowed me. I just was like, well, maybe, you know, what's the worst that could happen? I'm going to give it a shot. And all I wanted to do was bring in like $1,000 a month. That was my goal. If I could profit $1,000 a month, Tyler and I felt like we would have that good cushion that we were looking for, maybe start building up the savings account. So I took the plunge. So I'm going to kind of step back a little bit and talk about this why thing that you've probably heard Robin mention a million times. And it's the whole concept of people don't buy what you do, they buy why you do it. And initially when I started, it was just, I didn't want to go back to work. I wanted to stay home with my daughter and I needed to make some money. Okay. And you will find over time that your why continues to evolve. And I just realized a couple weeks ago that my has evolved even more. So I signed papers December 12th. I onboarded 2 days later. Sorry, guys. That's how it was back then. I think I was 600 consultants, different. Onboarded 2 days later. And even then, I will tell you, I remember Irma was one of my choices. And she's like, hang on, I got to go check to see. We might be out of stock. They weren't. They had them. But I'm just saying, even then, things were not always available. So it was Christmas time, and we were planning to go home to New York for Christmas. Tyler was going to be right after the New Year going to California for 5 weeks for training. I was like, well, if we're going home to New York anyway, and he's going to be gone for 5 weeks, I'm just going to stay there. So I was like, I guess I'm going to launch in New York. So I had all of my inventory shipped to New York. By the way, don't mind this. We're painting. It's like my room looks like a disaster. I had all of my inventory shipped to New York. I did not have a plan in place. I didn't have a plan for how I was going to get everything back here 2 months later. I just went in like, well, we'll just see how this goes. The extent of my planning was I made like a Venn diagram because my husband made me about who I was going to contact. Like basically the 72-hour game plan, but I didn't know what that was at that point. So I made like a Venn diagram with all my networks about how I was going to tackle this. And I figured, you know, being new here, I didn't know anybody. So launching in New York, I figured would be a great thing. And it ended up being a great thing. So I was able to reel in my, family and friends from home before I came back here. So they were able to try everything on. So anyway, the inventory arrived in Rochester, my hometown, at my mom's house, December 19th. We weren't due to get there until December 22nd. So all the inventory arrived there. It was like 5 boxes. And she's like, you have 5 boxes at the house. I didn't get there till 3 days later. So I never got that picture of my inventory coming or anything. I got there, and remember, I didn't order Julia, so I had never seen her tried on anything that I ordered. We all stood around, we opened, we're like, oh, this is cool, and a pair of leggings. But I didn't have racks. I didn't have anything. Nothing at all. My mom's like, oh, I think your sister has an old rack in the basement. You can use that she left here when she moved, and all this crazy stuff. So finally I'm opening up the boxes, and I'm like, oh, I guess we better come up with a plan. So Tyler went out and he went to Lowe's and got like 4 bins, which were not big at all. We're like, oh, we'll make it work. So point being, I had nothing, completely unprepared. But Deanne, our amazing president and founder, did little girls' dress parties for years. I don't think she ever had racks. And then when she did started skirt parties with LuLaRoe, Robin, you had one, and I don't think she had bins, anything? Or did she just like lay stuff out? Bins? She had bins? Okay. So bottom line, I mean, obviously, like you can see, I have racks and everything now, but people did this without anything and were very, very successful. So my launch, I scheduled my launch at my mom's house, December 28th, 3 days after Christmas. You can imagine how that went. I had 4 people show up. One was my mother-in-law, my mother-in-law, who was the mother of my late husband. I'm still very close to them. She showed up. I sold 7 things, and she bought 5 of them. I was like, hey, I just made $200. This is awesome. And the 4 people that came left very happy with their purchases, and it was great. So I realized then, I mean, I knew I didn't do great. I sold 7 things. Woohoo. I knew that wasn't anything amazing. But I had seen, just the 4 people that came, like they really loved the stuff. And that was kind of eye-opening for me because I had never been to a pop-up. I had no experience with sales at all, and I really didn't know anything about these clothes. So I had kept everything, all the items come in these little plastic bags for those of you who haven't onboarded yet. I kept everything in those and threw those in bins, and people had to like dig through them. I had 1 rack, and I had set 1 of each style on the rack just so they could see, and then I referred them to the bins in the appropriate size for them to dig through the patterns. That's how I started. I didn't know any better. I had no idea. There were these comments and posts on Facebook pages asking for pictures of how people set up the pop-ups and stuff. I mean, we have no clue. Remember the night before my launch and the scramble to get everything set up and we didn't know what we were doing? That's my husband.
Yeah, it was a good time.
Yeah, no clue. So I realized then, I mean, it's about serving others, and it wasn't so much about how many pieces I sold because, like I said, I sold 7 pieces. So then I did an online launch because I knew I had friends online that would be interested. And I sold 18 pieces at my online launch. And I was like, oh my gosh, $600. I sold $600 of stuff. I remember calling him. He was at training by that point. I was like, Tyler, I sold $600 my first week. This is amazing. Like, I'm going to do amazing. I had no clue. I thought 18 things was amazing. And it is amazing because no matter how much you sell, it's amazing. So like I said, it's about blessing, serving, and loving each other and others. And I learned that right off the bat. I saw my friends text me pictures of themselves in their new LuLaRoe, and I was just amazed at the change in their faces and, how much more their confidence had increased. So this queue thing that y'all are in, I was telling Robin yesterday, I was like, it's a blessing and a curse because you have all this time to prepare and get everything perfect and just right before you start, which is awesome because, like I said, I had no time. But
it's all about loving each other.
Yes. Oh. Carrying the weapons up the stairs. So it's a blessing in that sense because you have tons of time to prepare. Like I said, I got my call 2 days later and my inventory got there before I did. I had no time to prepare, but on the flip side, it gives you a lot of time to prepare and almost overthink things. So my words of wisdom to you are don't worry about finding the perfect racks. I think I've gone through like 6 or 7 different kinds of racks at this point, trying to find the perfect ones. And I still probably haven't found the perfect ones a year and a half in. I know a lot of consultants gift wrap stuff for their customers, which is great and adorable and thoughtful. I don't got time for that. I've never done that. The extent of my wrapping is putting the plastic bag in the mailer and putting the clothes in, and my customers still buy it from me. It's okay. I actually just bought, though, I did buy some hard candy, like in bulk from Amazon. I'm like, oh, let's throw a couple of those in. Because now I see people too do this stuff. And I'm like, oh God, should I be doing this? Will they buy more if I do this? But I'm like, no, nobody cares. It all goes in the garbage. If you want to do that, that's fine. But don't feel like you need to, because you don't. I promise you don't. I'm still figuring things out. Like I said, a year and a half later, you will not get it right from the get-go. And just because I tell you something, like what I did a certain way, or Robin tells you how she did something or does something, doesn't mean it's going to work for you, or it might work better for you than it did. So I always tell people there's no formula for success. You can copy someone exactly, and it may turn out the complete opposite. You kind of got to find your own. So my words of wisdom, again, about what you can do while you're in the queue. Crystal, who's another one of my trainers, is starting a book club with like good inspirational books that you can read that will really help your business. So I encourage you all to look for that. I think she's going to try and get it up and running this week, and that will be something great you can do in the meantime. And I'm encouraging my girls who are already in and active to participate in this as well, because they're really, really great books. And start figuring out that why. Like, what is your why? Why do you want to do this? What is the deep, meaning behind it for you? Start living and sharing that with people. That's what's going to draw customers to you before they even buy anything. And later on, teammates and downlines. Don't worry so much about the fits and finishes. That stuff doesn't matter. So my why now. So I wanted to tell you a little bit how it's evolved. So like I said, it started with me just wanting to make a little extra money, stay home with my baby. But over time, I realized that when my first husband was killed, that innocence and sweetness and sensitivity in me died with him, honestly. And I have turned, and I'll admit it, kind of icy and cold, and it's hard to get me in the feels now, because you almost like consciously or subconsciously you make a vow with yourself that you're not going to let yourself get that hurt ever again, as a protection thing. But I have found through LuLaRoe that the women on my team, my customers, are able to like bring that out in me again. So I realized that just a few weeks ago. I'm like, my husband can't do that. It really got hurt. But like, it's a different kind of environment and love and atmosphere that's not replaceable or replicated. What else is on here? Oh, bottom line, you're part of an amazing team. Not to toot my own horn, but it's not me. I've got amazing leaders under me. Robin's incredible. And I have my whole group of trainers are really amazing. We're a really good dynamic. We all get along great. So you're part of an amazing team. You'll get a lot of support. I'm going to Chicago training. If any of you are going, please come say hi. I don't know if anybody's going. But if you do, please come say hi. And then hopefully I will meet more of you at convention, because I'll be there too. I just want to make sure I didn't miss anything. Don't think so. Robin, is there anything else you wanted me to talk about?
That was just pretty much covered. So perfect, because
I was like, I hope I say what you want me to say.
No, it was just, it's nice to remember, okay, the leaders that you guys are seeing in the company right now started out with way 100 times less than you're starting. So when you see Alex's success and you're like, I want to be there, I want to have that team, you're going to get that. You have so many more things helping you as far as there's more styles. There are promo items. There are, Kayla doing the graphics for us. There's even, Audrey, as much as it maybe has annoyed us this week, it is incredible what it does for us. Before everyone had sales tax.
I had to pay my own sales tax.
Yeah.
It's a nightmare, just opening, like going through the whole legalities of that. And just, I mean, I don't want to say I didn't have support. Of course I had support, but the resources and the knowledge, it just wasn't there when I started. And I really figured stuff out as I went along. I mean, my upline, Amy Lee, is amazing, but she was only in like a month or two before me. And when I came in, I was like, I'm not going to build a team. Like, I'm not a leader. That's not even, I don't care about that. It's not going to happen. And then I have 200 people. My team is 200 people now. And it's just, that's how this business works. It just, people are drawn to it and they're drawn to you.
Yeah. And I had a similar experience this week that I wanted to just piggyback on Alex I was looking through Instagram and I was looking at Tori Macy's and I had a good long talk with her on the cruise, and she's amazing and she is very crafty. And if you guys look her up,
Did you say Tori?
Yeah.
Oh, I love her.
She packages her stuff. Like, she has themes every week for what she does for her customers. And I was watching her spray paint these thank you cards, and I was just watching her and super excited for her. And all of a sudden it was like, and I believe in Satan, I believe in God. So I felt like Satan was just like, you are not good enough. And I was all of a sudden like super depressed, and I couldn't get myself out of this feeling. And I was like, it was the day that, sales tax was announced and everyone was freaking out. Everyone was trying to get Dot Smilers, and we had that crazy weekend with Audrey. And I was just like, I can't do enough. My to-do list is so long and I can never finish it. And none of you guys made me feel this way. This was my own like feeling of, I'm just like chasing and running and I can't catch up. And I talked to my girls that are almost trainer, or Bethany, who is trainer in Q. So, and I told them, you're going to have to pull back from sales because your team needs you. And I know that's what does the sales, the online sales, but I could not get myself out of that rut. And I felt like our team or myself, that I needed to hear that more than anything, because it took me a couple days to finally say, you know what, I'm happy with where I'm at. Like last week I was I was folding and then shoving clothes directly into the USPS bag, and I didn't get one complaint. Okay. Then when my tissue paper came in, I decided, hey, I'm going to be fancy right now and I'm going to wrap it in tissue paper. Will that last forever? I don't know. Right now, I'm only selling about 50 items a week online. So and my husband does all the online sales. So I have time where I can sit and package and listen to like The Go Giver or listen to Power of 10 or something like that. And so, but that's where I'm at right now. In the beginning, I had everything in bins, everything in packages. And I lived in a 900 square foot place, and it was just all lined in my bedroom everywhere. And so please just don't get caught up in that, because it will ruin you. It really shook me for a few days. And it wasn't anything Tori was doing. It was just that I allowed myself to compare. And when I did that, I robbed myself of all the joy and all the success that I had already been having. And I didn't let myself focus on that. And I lost time with my kids because I felt like I was trying to make up for what I wasn't doing perfectly. And the only thing that really got me out of that was finally realizing that I was in that like spiral, and turning the light switch and saying, I'm not going to let myself be there, because I need my team. And it was, more, the team needed to be more, we needed to focus on what you guys need from home office. And that drove me to be like, okay, take myself out of there and let's move forward, because I'm ready to lead and be there. I'm not going to let all of that ruin my success and my excitement and stuff that I've already felt. I'm not going to let the negativity hit me. So I guess this really was like when I told Alex, she's like, oh, so you want to come to Jesus meetings? And I was like, for me, it was just like, hey, let's come to like, just remember, the people who you're seeing as leaders and you're seeing at these trainings, they started more humbly than you ever will. And they started with less than you will, like probably 75% less of the amount of stuff that you're starting with. And their investment was smaller, so they started out with maybe 200 maxi skirts or whatever, and then they had to build up to every time a style came in, they had to save up and pay for that new style to bring it in. It's very different. So there's so many good things for starting now, and don't get yourself too down about, oh, I should have started when I heard about it forever ago, or I wish the queue wasn't happening, because you have time to plan and prepare that Alex and I didn't have. And she already told you an experience about that. And
just prepare it productively.
Yeah.
Really explore your why, and start blessing people now. You can do that without even having product.
Oh yeah.
Don't worry about the fits and finishes, because that stuff just doesn't matter.
Yeah, no.
It matters, but you know what I mean.
Well, like, and if you're a really crafty person and you're really like, that's just going to come naturally to you. Tori is very crafty. And so that to her does not overwhelm her, because that is her thing. My anxiety rings bells of crazy. Like, I can't keep up with that. And so I have to understand, I'm not her business. I'm Robin's. I'm my own business. And this is the way I can do it. And I don't need to be different, because I'm myself, and people will want to come to me because they like me and they like my relationship. So, and so anyway, I hope that doesn't sound like I'm talking bad about Tori. I love her and she's amazing, but that's how much she can do. She has the ability to do that. I don't. You don't see like a gallery wall on my wall, because that kind of stuff overwhelms me. And that's just honest. And yeah, so I love, Alex, I love your advice about just exploring your why, because it changes. I was just at regional training and I realized my why is not the same. I was like, oh my gosh, my why has been driven by customers, and I am barely dealing with customers right now, because only 1 or 2 days a week do I see someone at a party, but I am like 80% of the time dealing with team problems or helping with team stuff, as far as like launch parties or being your cheerleader. And honestly, my why is changing a lot about you guys and about your whys, and I'm driven to help you guys reach a lot of stuff that you want. And I haven't quite tackled it down yet, but I feel like it's evolving, I guess. And I'm like, wow, this is different. Before it was because I still like empowering women, but it was like I like to see the customers and what they do when they put the dress on. But now it's like, oh my gosh, the smiles that come on your guys' faces when I say, tell me your launch party numbers, and I go, oh my gosh, how do you feel? And what you tell me,
like a proud mama moment, you know? It's like,
but at the same time, I'm like, that was all your work. Like, that doesn't that feel so good? It's like when my kids, they clean up the whole upstairs, and I was like, how do you guys feel about that? And they're like, we feel happy. And I'm like, oh, that was your own hard work that made you have that feeling. So that's what teaches you better than, me sitting here for an hour. So
one more quick thing that I just thought of.
Please.
So how I got 300 plus pieces back to Indiana in the middle of winter.
Awesome.
Took my bins, threw my clothes in trash bags, put them in the bins, and we bought like $150 those racks you can put on the back of your truck, and we like wrapped them in cable and drove 12 hours cross country. Everything was covered in salt by the time I got home. The clothes were fine, but like the bins and the trash bags.
That's awesome.
And it was fine. It was fine. Like, I didn't have the income at that point to pay to ship it, or you figure it out. And we did. So.
I still don't know how I'm gonna move 1,000 pieces to California. I don't know.
Well, you'll have we have a moving company.
I don't know. We're gonna get a quote today. So he was like, I'll tell you a really crazy quote. And he's like, okay, let's say I quote you $10,000. And I was like, what? And he was like, that's just a little crazy. And I'm in my head, I'm like, that's crazy. I'm not paying that. No way. I will have fights with my marriage. That's not worth that. So I don't know yet, but we'll figure it out.
You can take that as a business right off though too.
Mm-hmm.
Probably.
Yeah. Yeah. We asked LuLaRoe if they'd give us a moving bonus, and I think they probably looked at my trainer check and said, no, you're fine.
No, she doesn't need one.
I was like, take it. No, I'm just kidding. No, they're awesome. We're actually probably going inactive in the reserves because of LuLaRoe's benefits are so great. So we will see. That would be weird not to get on base. So, okay, I'm going to open it up to you guys. Alex is your coach, okay? If you have any questions, obviously if there's issues with Audrey and stuff like that, Alex can fix that. So that's the stuff where you need to report on our Google Forms, because I'm going to be calling in on Monday or Tuesday. So go ahead and ask me questions, okay? If you can't unmute yourself, write in the chat, because of some of you I had to physically mute. And so I think when I do that, disables unmuting options, but you can write questions, or I mean, there's 17 of you guys in here, so let's get
Wow.
questions.
That's a lot of people. That's good.
It's the bong. Alex, that's me that texted you.
Oh, I didn't have your number.
Oh my gosh, how rude, you guys. How rude.
You never gave me your number.
So,
Sorry, my internet was choppy. My internet's a problem.
oh, it's fine. It's fine. Alex, you should tell them what your experience of meeting me for the first time was. And
She's so outgoing, and I'm such an introvert. Like I'm one of the leaders that I don't say a lot. I kind of keep to myself. You won't see me on the big boards like Lindsay Wheeler. Like you won't see that. I kind of keep to myself. And Robin's just so outgoing and bubbly, and I was like, oh my gosh, I just didn't expect it. But it's in a good way. I didn't mean that in a bad way. But she was all brave and and I was like, don't ask me questions, people, because they ask you questions.
Oh yeah.
And I get shy with that.
Oh. I feel like Alex was like, you're crazy the whole time.
No, it wasn't like that at all. I was kind of like, oh, I wish I could be like that. I'm so shy. Not really shy. I'm an introvert. I'm not really shy.
That's why this is good for you guys to ask me questions, because she is here and you.
I have a question. I don't know how to do this. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I like that Dan has that dress, that print.
Yes, she does.
This one, I love it.
Leslie is our crafter. She is gonna probably do packages like Tori. Leslie's amazing.
That's awesome.
So, my question is, I got my first bit of inventory last week, and then I've been getting little bits here and there, and just got another box today. How do you know what's going to work for you? Because as it stands, I've done my in-home lunch party, and then I was going to post it on Facebook, but I got nervous about that, taking all the pictures. So I thought, let me do Periscope and see if I could sell some stuff before I have to take the pictures. But I did one last night, and it was really long and really boring. And then I sold 2 things. And then today I did a very small one, and I sold 1 thing, which I think is good. But, I don't know. I guess, how do you figure out what your niche is, because there's so many avenues?
I've never done a Periscope sale, and I probably won't, because they're
terrifying. They're scary.
Again, the introvert thing. It's not me, but I know some people are really successful at them. Robin, have you done them?
Robin does them, yeah.
I kind of pulled back, but I only did box reveals. I showed.
Okay. Yeah, and the box reveals are great. I don't know how you set up your Periscope sale, if you did it that way, or if you you did a box reveal.
Kind of like a box reveal. Brand new.
Tonight you did?
Yeah, tonight I did. Yeah.
I don't know. Like I said, I've never personally done one, so I don't have a ton of feedback to give you on them. But I know for me, I do mostly online at this point, but I still do pop-ups too. I do a healthy mix of both. It's really, really important to do pop-ups, especially in the beginning, because that's what's going to drive your online sales. People need to feel the stuff and try it on, and then they'll buy from you online. So I don't know, how long have you been in? Just a few weeks, you said?
I just got my initial inventory last week.
Oh, so you're brand new. So it's gonna take you a while. You're just gonna kind of have to
figure it out.
Go with the flow. Yeah, go with the flow and figure it out and try everything. But definitely initially you want to work those in-person sales.
Okay.
For sure.
Awesome. Thank you.
Yeah. And I think I'm doing a training next week for the team on that, the importance of
in-person.
Local in-person sales.
I feel like that's where relationships are given, and even if you just host them at your house, if the hostess is, that's my favorite. If the hostess is willing to be friends, and
I don't have to pack everything up. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's more just that personal relationship you make, and I think that you just try it, and you try it for tell yourself, I'm going to try this for 90 days, and I'm going to see what it does. I'm going to stay consistent with just Periscope for 90 days. And if you feel like even earlier than that it's just not, you don't love it, or it's just not biting or whichever, then you can move your avenue. But I wouldn't try to.
You have to enjoy it. You have to enjoy it. Like for me, the Periscope thing. Oh, sorry. I thought my internet stopped and I thought you were done. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to cut you off.
Oh, it's cool.
Periscope thing scares me, so I haven't done it, and I could probably sell a whole bunch on it, but I wouldn't enjoy it. So you have to enjoy it.
Yeah.
And
I found too also, sorry, I also found a lot of people are commenting, I don't have that many on my group, just like 215, and they're commenting like, I don't understand what this Periscope thing is, and then I try to tell them, and then they say, well, I downloaded it, I don't know how to do it, and so I feel like I'm probably going to lose out on some potential customers as well, like via Facebook, if I don't kind of explore that as well. So I think I might need to do both.
Yep, and there's a learning curve for customers, obviously too.
Oh my gosh, if I could have gotten like $1 for every person that was like, where can I find the freaking albums? I'd be like, I would be so rich, because I have had videos and pictures and had to sit down with people and say, click group info, photos, albums. Okay. Go to your computer. It's way easier. And I have like every single sale. There's 2 older ladies that still get lost, and they have shopped. They've bought. So I know they found them at some point, but they continue to get lost. And I'm like, if you comment on my leggings album one more time, asking me where my Azures are, I'm going to go nuts. Anyway, I love them, but they're definitely that learning curve. Yeah.
Any other questions? And when you're onboarded, Robin will add you to my team page too. So you'll have that as a resource as well.
Cassie's unmuted. You got a question, Cassie?
Have y'all done vendor events?
Yep.
Do you like them?
I've done 2. And pretty much the rule of thumb when it comes to vendor events that you're not gonna sell stuff. It's more about making contacts and getting people interested in booking parties. So as long as you go into it with that mindset and kind of make that your goal rather than trying to sell, you'll probably do well. The other thing is not all vendor events are good for this kind of thing. Like the one I did was a 4-H thing. That was my fault because I just wasn't thinking. But there's like women's expos and stuff like that typically go really well. And a lot of times you see like the children's consignment sales. Like we have something called Whale of a Sale here. I don't know if that's like a nationwide thing, but it's all about like kids stuff. But they have like vendors come in and set up stuff too. Those are great because it's a bunch of moms trying to come and buy, old kids' toys and stuff. And they check out the vendors too. So you have to pick the right one and then go into it with the right mindset, knowing you're probably not going to sell a lot, but hopefully you'll make some contacts and get some parties booked.
Okay, awesome. I have 2 coming up, and both of them are women's expo type things. So.
Okay, good.
Don't ever do
Thank you.
San Antonio Women's Club. That was awful.
What is that?
Sorry, go ahead.
San Antonio Women's Club is an old people house, and they all dress up like they're in the 60s or 30s. I don't know. And they walk around, they say, your rack looks like clearance. Where are the hats? And I go, why am I here? Just don't do it.
That's awesome, Robin.
Vendor events. Do you take like part of your inventory, or do you take all of your inventory?
It depends on the space. Both of the vendor events I actually did with my girlfriend, who's one of my directs, who lives down the street. Both of them were shortly after she started, so we did it together. And neither of us had a huge inventory at that point. She signed on just 2 months after me. So we decided to buy a double booth and both take our inventories and hope we could maybe stir up some excitement together. So I think it really just depends on your space. A lot of times you can, like I said, even if it was just you might be able to get a double space if you really wanted to take it all. I think probably the safest thing would be to take like tops and leggings, maybe max maxis, the stuff that you think is easiest for people to just buy and go with, so you don't have to worry about people trying stuff on. That would be my best advice. Neva Howard, whose Facebook that she uses for LuLaRoe is Neva Hearts. She's one of my directs, and she posted in the You Can Row group, for those of you who are in that, and also in my team page. She does a lot of vendor events. Like, she's the one to talk to about them. She posted a training on them. So if you're in the You Can Row group, search for that, and if you're in my Can Dolls page, it's in there as well. So that would probably be a good thing to check out.
Okay, perfect.
Courtney's in that. She can find it.
Okay.
Any other questions? We have like 3 minutes, and then we need to get off because Mommy and Me launch is happening at 8.
Oh, yeah.
I should not have reminded all you guys. I want to be on there. Just kidding. Again, don't get your feelings hurt if you don't get it, but make sure that it does go through. It's in your orders section.
Here We Grow in San Antonio. Really? See, we have Here We Grow here in Indiana, and apparently those go really well for people. So that's really interesting.
Where at in Indiana are you, did you say?
I am just south of Indianapolis in Franklin.
Okay, I'm from Logansport, which is about 70 miles straight north of Indianapolis.
Oh, really? Oh, okay. Oh, that's cool.
That's funny.
Yeah.
I like looking
Hello,
at
Hoosier.
seeing
We
it.
used to live in Carmel.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Who did? You did. Oh, so real. This is funny.
I love us. There are so many of you on this call, and I just want to shout out to all of you guys that I love you. And I know if people who can't be on, I know you'll watch the recording because you guys are rocking it, and I just love all of you guys. And I'm totally doing a Scylla video on our page every week.
We have a really good team. We have a really strong team.
Yes, very much so.
We really do. So.
Alrighty, friends. Does anyone else have any questions for Alex?
I wanted to say something really quick.
Yes.
I don't know if I should. Bethany just told me something. Bethany, you should tell everybody. If you're still there.
You better not. Did you water break?
No.
No,
That's what I thought.
I wish. No, I think I'm going to just stop waiting on it and go here in a little bit.
You're going to go in then?
Yeah, I think.
Girl, how far apart are your contractions right now?
Still like 10 minutes.
Just go.
Annoying.
Just go check.
I don't want them to keep me, though.
Oh,
They won't
God.
keep you.
You know, they said they would keep me, and then they ended up keeping me, and I walked the halls for like 5 hours. It was so annoying. I was like,
That's our hospital won't let you walk once you go in, and it makes me mad.
What?
boo.
Yeah.
Okay,
Once you get there, you have to stay in bed.
Oh, that's terrible.
Yeah.
what's your thing, Bethany, that you just told Leslie?
Just
Oh,
that
then I
she's
was going to
going.
the hospital.
Oh, that was it. You're going to the hospital.
That's exciting.
That's
I wish I was
awesome.
having a baby.
No, I mean, that was it. Like, I guessed it. I didn't really think I guessed it.
I love Lula babies.
Oh my gosh, you guys, Bethany is so pregnant. You're not even due yet, though.
She
No.
always goes early.
Bethany's like tiny. How short are you, Bethany?
4'11".
Okay,
Oh,
Kim
yeah, she's little. I met her.
Kim Mercedes, you met Bethany?
Yeah.
You met Bethany. She's been like very, very first direct. You guys, I'm gonna cry when I see all of you guys.
I'm only 4'9", 4'10".
Oh, you and Bethany are like core buddies.
Yes.
Amazon.
Someone else did short. I love it.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so I will look like an Amazon woman next to you guys.
Well, yeah.
You and me both. That's another thing. You were way taller than I expected.
Oh, was I?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Well, and I wore like high heels that whole leadership. So,
Did you?
well, like what are those? Wedges. There you go. Okay. Does anyone else have something fun news or something inspiring? We have like 2 minutes, and then I'm cutting y'all off because I'm gonna go buy some mommy meat. I hope so.
Good luck, everybody who tries to get it.
Yes. Oh, you usually have better luck if you type in your credit card information.
Yeah, don't use ACH.
Yeah. Amber Farhat is on here, and she is going to get the call any day now.
So exciting.
So excited. Amber's up next for onboarding, and then I think Casey, and then as far as my directs, I'm not sure who else is And then I think it's a little break until Laura Hewitt and, oh my gosh, it's so fun. Oh my gosh, it's so fun. I wish I could like add everyone like directly under me, but no, I can't. Deanne, what did Deanne say on the last call? Don't do more than 20, right? Because then you do disservice. You can't be there for more people.
Coach's call. She said we have a coach's call every Monday night, and she basically said you are doing yourself and your team a disservice if you go more than 20. Mm-hmm. I think 20 to 30 realistically is like the most you should do.
And
it depends on a person. Somebody can handle 30, and another person can handle. It just depends on you. And I was really down on myself because I only had 15 directs, and I see some people have like 40, 50. Robin's got more directs than I do, and I was like, what am I doing wrong? I was feeling really inadequate, and she said that, and I texted her, and I said, thank you so much, because like as much as I didn't feel like I could handle much more right now, I felt like I needed to. So she said 20. So I have 15. I have a couple in the queue, so
20 is
a lot.
Give it time.
It's a lot.
Yeah, it is. And I had 5 for most of my time. Everyone didn't get added on until tax season came. And then all of a sudden everyone was ready because, then it wasn't so scary because you had the actual funds. And,
yep.
But anyway, okay, well, you guys reach out to Alex on Facebook. If there is anything that, if I don't answer or you're not satisfied with the way that I've helped, or even if sometimes you just connect better with other people, and that's totally fine. Alex, however, does already have a handful of directs that she has to help and be there for. So if you're constantly reaching to her, she's going to talk to me and say, hey, why are you not connecting with this girl? And why does she have, I love talking to her, but make sure that you're connecting with her and taking care of her. But at the same time, reach up as far as you need for whatever.
And Ronnie's great too. She's in between.
And am I so bad that I didn't even say that? Yeah,
she's not on here, so yeah.
You guys, Ronnie is the bomb, and she's like rocks online sales. I love Ronnie. So you guys, that's it. It was nothing really like super scripted. I just wanted you guys to meet Alex and get to know her and know that simplicity sometimes is better to start with, to not overstress yourself, and don't run faster than you can, or whatever that saying is. That saying. Anyone?
I don't know.
Don't walk faster than you can run? No. I don't know. You guys can't.
I think you just made something up.
Did I just make something up?
You just made that up.
No, I'm going to ask. Hold on. I'm asking my husband.
No.
Hey, what's the saying? Don't walk faster than you can run. What is it really supposed to be?
No, you can't walk before you learn to crawl.
There you go. That's what it is. And yes.
Close enough. Totally knew what you meant.
Let's just all embrace the mom pooch and the Julia, okay? All right, you guys. You rock.
Bye.
Bye. Bye. I'm going to go spend some money.